Holy shit, time flies, man. Last video was February 5th, so it's been, now we're going on 2 months. Hair is getting longer, teeth are getting longer, but we're back at it again, and this time we're going to look at a Squier Tele Thinline that came to me pretty much like this from the owner, and we're going to go under the pickguard and then string it up with a little bit of fret dressing. Hopefully we can fit that into a short amount of time, so stay tuned. Here we are with the Squier Telecaster Thinline. Not sure what year this model is. I'm not looking up the serial. So it came to me, the same guy had brought me another classic vibe Thinline, the blonde one, like the 72 style one with the stock wide range pickups, and we did a setup and fret dress, and essentially what we're going to do with this one, and loved it. And he used to have, I think he used to have an old one back, like a 70s one back in the day, and he had sold it, and so he's getting back into the Thinline game, and now he's got two. This would be his second, and they're awesome. And this one actually, I feel like it feels a little better than the last one, although it came to me with no strings, like basically as is. So the story on this one is he just wants it set up so it feels and plays kind of like the other one. There's a little bit of I don't even know if it's like fret sprout, like maybe a little bit. It's just, you could feel it a little bit, so we can soften those edges up a bit. Doesn't take much. And then just kind of go over the whole thing and make sure it plays. And also that the previous owner put Lollars in it, so these are Lollars. I'm not even sure what model. Maybe we'll find out once we flip the pickguard. And yeah, and he said the wiring was pretty messy and asked if I could clean that up. So that's what we're gonna do. I've taken all the screws off so that you don't have to watch me take screws out. But I haven't looked underneath here yet. But first off, the first thing I noticed is the bridge has been messed with. It's been removed at some point because there's a bunch of screws here. You probably can't tell, but this one here is like not seated all the way down. The back ones are all kind of not really screwed in all the way. It looks like it was an upgrade thing and they did it really fast and didn't end up wanting to keep it. They put it for sale, and so the guy who brought it to me bought it, and we're going to make it play awesome. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to tighten that bridge down because that's pretty ridiculous, right? So there's a couple screws back. Oh yeah, you can tell too they've been removed a few times because they're a little stripped, like the part that interfaces with the screwdriver. All right, so these are nice and tight now. So let's go tabletop view so you can see what I'm seeing. I've got a messy ass table here, so disregard all the fucking parts and shit that's just around this. But we're gonna pull the pickguard off and we're gonna see it for the first time together. So here we are, tabletop on the Squier Telecaster Thinline, and so I've got all the screws out, and I'm gonna get this ready, and we're just gonna pop this off. He said it was gonna be messy under here, so I'm kind of expecting a rat's nest, but actually that's not bad at all. I don't know what he was, probably just this. He probably saw this. That's not bad at all. So this is electrical tape. Don't use this for this application because it gets all sticky and greasy, and I'm sure this tape was on there real nice and tight and clean when it was first done, but now it's not. So we don't do that. And I don't know why there's a piece of tape here. Is that because of, that could be because of this. maybe. I wonder if maybe he was touching the shielding paint and grounding itself out. But it's gonna fall off anyways. So here's what we're gonna do. Here we have some paper style pickup tape. And I'm just gonna put some tape back where it was, just in case that's what the issue was. And then maybe I'll put one on the same spot on the other. It's probably pointless. It's probably just, I don't know why it was there, but just in case it was there to not make contact on this edge here with shielding paint, then we should be good. Okay, as far as these, what are these? Lollar pickups, low wind Regal and a Regal. So you got a low wind and a regular Regal. I would imagine these are the wide range threaded magnets, Cunife or however you say it. These look like normal Alnicos, so I don't know if they're blending the two on these. I'd have to maybe look it up and come back. But as far as the wiring goes, like, this is actually pretty clean. You know, I'd probably put some tape here and maybe some tape here. The same tape, like this will work. It's what I put on pickups. It's what all pickup companies usually use anyways. And it doesn't get all greasy like electrical tape. So just like that. And we'll just put another little thing on this side. And that's it. The only other thing would be to test it after, but like, I mean, this is pretty clean. Whoever did that used the right materials. Like, you got good quality pushback wire here. So can't go wrong with that. What's this? Oh, one of these. Okay. So I guess this is a magnetic plug. You just leave it in the guitar, and then it's probably the second time I see one of those, and it's probably from the same guy. So he's using the same gear there. I don't recommend it, but I don't knock it either. If that's your jam, then go right ahead. I don't know if I'd play live with that setup. I'd want a solid plug-in, but that's just me. What do I know? I'm just a guy who makes pickups and plays guitar in this room that he sometimes make videos in. Cool. So I would call that done, because that's pretty clean. Just make sure everything fits back in. Move the camera out of the way. That would probably help too, right? Getting there. At least it's working on this side a bit more. I do think this needs to go up. There we go. And then there's just something catching here. So we're gonna put the screws back in, then we're gonna dress the frets here. So we'll speed this shit up. Off we go. Okay, so we've got that mounted back in. Pickup heights look okay. Just kind of eyeballing it for now. The other thing I like to do, a when I'm doing these is because it's a Fender, straighten this shit out. Because it's a Fender style guitar, and the neck can be removed. I just found a little Easter egg I wasn't expecting. There is what looks like a topless lady on the neck plate here. Can you see that? Like a laser etching of a topless lady. Very nice. We swear on this channel, so it's not for kids, right? So we can show this stuff. Plus, I have a guitar, a G&L, that I've worked on this channel that has a picture of a lady in a blue dress and her boobs are out. So we've already shown a lot more than we should have on this video, on this channel. But anyways, I like to take the neck off, and here is why. One, it gets the body out of the way. And not only that, because I'm doing a setup on this, just want to see what, like, does it have shims? Is it, a lot of times you can set, like, a lot of times you see guitars come in and they need a setup, and you check and it's been shimmed and it didn't need shims. And really the proper shim to use is a wooden one, right? Like what StewMac sells, which is like, you know, but you're gonna pay out the ass for that. Especially if you're in Canada, blah, blah, blah. Everything costs more, we gotta import it. But if you use a business card or like stuff like that, like you're putting a pad essentially between two resonating pieces of wood, right? And if you've got like a plastic or paper or whatever, it's going to absorb some of the vibration going through this joint. So I always take the neck off to get an idea of what the fuck I'm looking at. So that looks pretty clean. It's actually a really nice neck, to be honest. I would imagine this is probably a classic vibe as well. Crafted in Indonesia. Well, they make good stuff there, and this reflects that from the experience that I've had dealing with all kinds of guitars. A lot of them come from Indonesia, and they're good. Usually. Okay, so now the body is separate, so I can just put it in the case here. Very nice case, by the way, that he has is a tweed. And then we have the neck here. So we're gonna hit it with, let's see if I can find it in this little mess collection here. There's the sleeve that it comes in. Okay, please hold. I'm gonna go and find this fucking thing and then we'll get to it. Okay, found it. Turns out it was at the very back of the top drawer of my little mini tool chest. It's a pretty cool thing, actually. It's like 12 inches wide by 6 inches tall, 6 inches deep. Cool little thing. Surprise Canadian Tire find. Anyways, speaking of StewMac, this is a StewMac tool. You don't have to get the StewMac tool, but you do want something that has two sides that bite and then a flat side and a rounded side that are not files, so that you don't scratch up your stuff. And you just feel it a little bit here, and a lot of times it just exposes the outer corners just enough to feel them. And it usually does it more around here because you end up playing up here more. And all it is you take the rounded side down onto the neck and you just give it a couple passes like that. And all of a sudden you can't feel it going one way, you feel it going the other way. And you just do the other one, and now it's nice and smooth. And you do that over and over and over again all the way down. So we're going to speed this process up too, because I don't think anybody wants to sit through this, and I don't have a myriad of stories to tell you. Mainly because I don't really have anything to talk about right now, aside from what I'm doing. And you don't want to hear about what's going on in the world because we're showing that on a daily basis. So I just work the way down and I'll speed this up and then we'll get back to the setup. Lot better. So now we can put it back on the body because everything else is done. And there was no shims, so that's actually a good thing. And it's not the tightest neck pocket, but it's definitely not the loosest either. I wonder if the new owner of this guitar knows about that neck plate. It's gold, so it's not original to this guitar. So the previous owner must have had a pretty good sense of humor. Awesome. Okay, so here's a song that I've been hooked on to lately. Look up the band Deer Tick. A song called Mary Singletary. Pretty well done song. I like it. All right, I'm gonna string this up off camera here to speed up the process, and then we'll do the quick setup, check the neck and stuff. These are 9s, so not really the gauge strings I normally use, but we'll try and play some shitty riffs and like we normally do, just to show that it makes a sound, and then call her a day. So string it up and I'll be back. All right, we got strings. Something's going on with the middle position on the switch, so something's shorting out. Probably could be the braided wire. I'll have to could actually be the switch. I'll check that out. Actually, you know what we'll do? Just in case it's corrosion. Let's deox it. See if that did anything. Doesn't look like it. Let's see here. It's shorting out the see that? Now it's working. See? And it's still in the middle. You can see that, still in the middle position. So, could be a damaged switch, but I'll deal with that later. So, first things first, we got the strings on. I could see the string heights on here are not radius, they're like up, down, like the A string is way too low. We will check that. Intonation was actually pretty good. I checked it real quick, tuning it up. But first things first, always check the neck before you check the string height. So first fret, and then right where it meets the body, like in this case, would be like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18th fret, something like that. And you want right about here, which would be your 7th fret, you know, just a little bit of gap, just a little tiny bit. At least it's a starting point. That's my starting point. I might actually tighten the truss rod just a hair. What do we got here? Metric, probably 4 mil. Yeah. So 4 mil. Just tighten that just a little bit. There, a little bit of a gap, like maybe the thickness of a piece of paper. It's a starting point. Then once you get the string height and stuff and you feel the guitar out, then you know maybe it needs more relief or less relief. Some guitars need more relief. Some don't need any at all. They need it jack straight. Every guitar is different. So next up, so we got the neck set. Now we check the string height. Now on one of these, I'm just gonna unplug that from now. So on one of these, probably want about, oh, the strings are way low. Probably like 4/64ths, something like that. That's usually a good starting point, maybe 5/64ths, depending on the guitar. But right now it's too low at about 3/64ths. That's pretty low, especially for a low E. Especially on lighter gauge strings, they're gonna move around a lot more than like a 46 or a 50. So we're right at 4/64ths here, that's really nice. Then we do the high E. Usually I like that around 3/64ths to 4/64ths, and that is bang on. Perfect. 9.5 inch radius. So we get the radius gauge. So the reason I do the outer two, okay, hold on, there's something wrong with the saddles being all weird here. There we go. And you also want your saddles to sit level. You don't want them like, you don't want them to sit at radius. You don't want the saddles to be radius. You want the string heights to be radius. And right now, that is looking, you know what? There we go. And basically with the radius gauge, you just put on the strings and you could tell which ones need to move up, and in this case they all do, by quite a bit. So you basically want to adjust the heights until you don't see light on top of the string coming at you from behind the gauge, if that makes sense. Like I can put this on here and push down, and the light behind, because when the string's lower than the gauge, you'll see light on top of that string, and then once it touches, that light's gone. That's how I do it. That's how you're supposed to use these tools, and that's probably how a lot of people will say, don't do it that way, you gotta do it this way, whatever. I don't care. This is how I do it, and it works. But this one, the A string was quite low. Like that would have never played right. There, now it's touching. We got to do the D, the G, and the B. But they were a lot closer, so they weren't too bad. I don't know what the hell happened there. So you look down the neck and you could see what saddles need to straighten out. I think, yeah, the low B needs to come down just a hair. There. Now they're all right radius heights, and we're out of tune. So we're going to tune that back up. I will be right back. All right, we're tuned. Let's go here. Let's do the pickup height here. They're real low. I don't have any set measurements. I just kind of eyeball from experience and then go with my ear after that. But what I am doing, because they're the fender style with the 2 screws per side, you can control the angle. So I'm just trying to keep them parallel with the angle of the strings, right? And then, I don't know, just for sake, with the strings depressed down, I'm at about .07, 0.08 of an inch. That'd be what? That'd be about like 5/64, something like that. I don't know if you can pick that up. The camera's probably compressing it, but the neck pickup is now a lot quieter than the bridge. And the shitty part is there we go. Is that working? Yeah. So there's the working middle. Oh, I just knocked it out. There we go. So this is the middle position. That's the neck. So that is sounding pretty good. Maybe a touch more height on the neck pickup and that'll be that. Put some dirt. for some reason the switch is... Gonna have to check the switch. But other than that, this works. Setup's pretty good. Intonation, we did it on the last video, right? Open string, 12th fret harmonic, and then fret it at the 12th. If it's, then you need to make the string longer by backing the saddle. And if you get, you need to make the string shorter by moving the saddle forward this way. She works. There is one thing that I'm kind of thinking. It feels a little buzzy. This end. So I'm going to, so what I'm going to do is let it sit for a bit, then I'll check it later. I might have to add a bit of relief and then lower the saddles the same amount of turns. So I usually do quarter turns. So once it's set here and your radius, your heights are all radiused, or the heights are radiused to match the fretboard, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm trying to say. Once that's all set, you if you need to lower all the strings down, say you give the neck a bit of relief so that there's more front bow for trying to eliminate buzzing over here. Then you got to load the saddles. Just do it in quarter turns. Each grub from each saddle, 1 quarter at a time. And if you put the same amount of turns on each one, you're not gonna lose your radius or your balance. It's all gonna come down because it's all the same thread. So that's what I'll probably do if it still feels buzzy. But it could also be that it's what it is. Like, for some reason, I find this with a lot of the imports is they sound brighter, buzzier, tinier at the fretboard. Once you plug it in, then you're getting all the, you're getting the amp and the pickup and the body of the sound. But when you're playing it acoustically, you hear the fretboard more acoustically, if that makes sense. And this has that. Epiphones had that. Like, that's why I had an Epiphone 335 and I got rid of that. I had a PRS SE. It had that brightness, buzziness at the fretboard that I just couldn't ignore. Got rid of that. So in Squiers, like the other one was the other one that the new owner of this guitar has, the natural one, pretty much the same model, was bright sounding acoustically too, and you could, I don't know, I could feel the buzzing in my fingers as well as hear it out of my ear. But some people will say, shut up and turn the amp up, and then you won't hear it. pickups sound good, as they should. I mean, you know, people know the brand Lollar for a reason, right? Trying to not play riffs that are actually riffs that are out there, so I don't get like another copyright infringement claim thing on the YouTubes. Anyways, I'm rambling. These are cool guitars. They're actually really cool. These pickups are pretty cool. I've wanted to make the proper wide range pickups for a long time, but it's hard finding the proper pieces and parts to make them correctly. You almost like need to order find a factory that makes them and order a big batch of it, which I can't do. I can't order big batches of parts, so I'm stuck with what's easier to access in smaller numbers. So these are not pickups that I can make, at least not yet. But I will look up. These Lollars though, because the three covered magnets look like normal Alnico that you would get in like Fender Strat or Telecaster pickup, or in like the Jazzmaster pickup, like the rod magnet. It looks like that, and then the screws are they look like they'd be the cunife, whatever, however you say it. The original, like the proper magnets that Fender did back in the what was that, 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Yeah, because the 69 Thinline had the single coils. Anyways, see you on the next one. Hopefully it doesn't take 2 months. Oh yeah, rig we were playing in was the usual culprit, the Bogner 3534. In the green channel, all the dirt was the ODR-1 bass cut version, the big pedal. That's what we were playing with, in case you cared. See ya.